Good evening. Hello and welcome to Luna.
Hi.
Hi, and the Druid. And today our episode is about limiting beliefs, how to find them, how to overcome them. What are they, and what can we do with them?
Yeah. So it is super interesting and exciting topic for me. Um, we really thought that we can talk about it in one episode, but that's not going to happen. This is what I can tell straight away. So we decided to divide this topic into few sections. So
Yeah.
today we will identify what actually limiting beliefs are with some real life examples. We will pick some cards to help you identify your limiting beliefs. And the part of the plan is to do some exercises today, live here. So if you're getting ready, prepare a pen and a paper because we will use them tonight. But I'll guide you through during this journey. So, welcome. So good to be back and have you here. So, without a further delay, let's jump into it. And, Jan, in your words, what a limiting belief is.
A limiting belief is something that is part of you. So it's something that resides in the self. It's something, like you said, it's a belief. It's something you believe in. You believe that is correct, that is true, and it actually um, is overcomable. But the special thing of a limiting belief is that it's a belief that doesn't help you make go forward. So it's limiting you in your self-image. It's
Mm,
limiting you in the idea of you have to do something first before you can get something really important done. Uh, and it all resides in your thoughts, experiences, and experience create new thoughts, and new thoughts create new beliefs. So it's an ongoing process of um, empowering and dispowering. So losing your power or tapping into your power. So the beliefs go both way. They're empowering beliefs or they're limiting you. And when they're limiting beliefs, you're on the way down, more or less. They bring
mm.
you down.
Thank you. I
You
will
know.
back this up with a definition because recently during my coaching sessions, my clients often ask me about definitions of things. So, limiting beliefs are the deeply held convictions we have about ourselves, other people, or the world around us, right? That restricts our potential. And I absolutely love this part restrict our potential. These beliefs are often subconscious and shape our thoughts, feelings, and actions. They develop over time, influenced by our upbringing, past experiences, social norms, and even specific incidents where we may have failed in the past or being criticized. Mm, and I love this definition because it's just straight to the point, isn't it?
It is.
With from where it comes from to how it affects us. And during these few episodes, we can't say how many it will be just yet because we don't know. We'll see where the conversation will take us. However, the intention for this series is to help you, first of all, understand what a limiting belief is. And we will also help you to identify yours. And then we'll tell you what to do with them and how to overcome them and how to take action towards changing them. But let's not go that ahead yet,
Yep.
because today I want to focus more on what a limiting belief is itself. Um, how do limiting beliefs develop, Jan?
They develop, like you said already, they develop by upbringing, by experiences. They are created by your thoughts, and they settle in often deeply. So they're deeply rooted within you, and that's the biggest problem of limiting beliefs, is that it takes a lot. It takes a lot to turn them around, or to change them, or to bulldoze them away. It
Mhm.
changes a lot. It takes a lot to yeah, to get out of them, to get over them. Yeah. So it's yeah, that's the thing. There's many examples, of course, and real life examples
Yeah.
that you get from people that you think, okay, there's an obvious one, and then
Mhm.
I'll kick off with one nice example from many years ago. I was training a bunch of young people who dropped out of high school just before their exam year. It's fifth, sixth year, and they didn't go through. And yeah, some of them were actually becoming a bit worried about their future and things like that. And we've been talking about the dreams and how you manifest them. And one guy says, "Oh yeah, but I have dreams. Yes, I have dreams. I have two major dreams." I said, "My first dream is to make an enormous amount of money, and the second dream is, when I have the money, I'm going to live. I think it was America. I'm going to live in America." I said, "Okay, that's good. So, what would be the biggest dream then?" Yeah, I said, "Of course, the second dream is the biggest." I said, "But why do you need a crap ton of money to live in America? You can buy a ticket. You can, when you land there and you have a visa and you're in the country, you can wash dishes and work your way up. You can, it's the land of the infinite possibilities. And so, why the enormous amount of money? When you don't make the money, you won't make the dream. When you do the dream first and then don't make the money, you still have the biggest dream achieved." So that was his limiting belief. And a majority, I think maybe 50% of the limiting beliefs, is people who postpone action because the things are not right yet, who postpone what we always call in our show, the baby steps, who postpone going in the direction because, yeah, the time is not right. Well, the time will never be right, because when you have one thing fixed, there's another thing coming. Life always has the best of us. So yeah.
Yeah, but those limiting beliefs must come from somewhere. And
Yeah.
one of the sources of limiting beliefs can be our family influence, especially when we are children.
Yeah.
The environment we grow up in and the limiting beliefs of people who surround us and who we are learning from has one of the biggest impacts of the way we see the world, how we perceive it, the way we think, how we feel about it, what we think about it, blah, blah, blah. We adopt our parents' beliefs or our caregivers, because just because we live in a family doesn't mean that other people don't have that effect. If, for example, a child is spending a lot of time with a nanny, it can develop the same limiting beliefs or the same outlook of world as that nanny, because when we're children we are growing and learning from the environment we are surrounding. So family influence is the one thing. Another one would be school
School. Yeah.
or authority figure. If, for example, a teacher once told you you're not good at math, you can grow with that belief that you basically suck at math and you won't be even trying to prove yourself wrong, because that belief will limit you and will force you to think that, okay, you have limits on that. And it may be that case that just the teacher couldn't teach you properly so you would understand, but that limiting belief will affect your entire life.
Yeah. And it comes
Society
from.
and culture, that would be a big one, because it has certain rules about success, beauty, intelligence, especially these days when the times where perfectionism and perfection within, for example, beauty industry is so forcefully you can see it everywhere on billboards, magazine. It's luckily changing, but then the pressure and the high standards, the I mentioned beauty industry here, so I will keep that example. It's pushing on the everyday women, like girl from next door, regular people, not some supermodels, can cause a lot of harm and damage to psyche of the person, to the way they feel about themselves, their self-worth.
Yeah, and what you actually say, especially for instance, I think about the math thing. You get a bad grade at math. The teacher tells you you're bad at math. You start believing you're bad at math, and you lose interest in math. So you will not study as hard. You think, well, if I can just pull it off, that's good enough for me. Let's focus on something else. Well, you could be brilliant at math. Well, you could be a, a number cruncher big time, but you'll never discover it because you're dived in yourself in the belief that you're not good at math, that you're suck at
Mhm.
math. And so it's a cycle. It's a self-reinforcing cycle.
Another super source of limiting beliefs is ourselves. What we believe in, what we convince ourselves to. This is just sometimes a whole new different story. And the reason I'm smiling is because guilty of that.
Yep.
Last couple of weeks has been a big test for me, where I could actually see my own limiting beliefs popping in here and there in the challenging situations, which gives me even deeper and more understanding of that topic. And every time I see a new one popping in, it's like, oh, hi, nice to see you, nice to meet you. Because until we won't start searching for them, we won't see them. But the moment you turn your awareness into finding them and looking at yourself from that perspective, interesting discoveries could be made.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you already say a big idea of identifying limiting beliefs is just watching your words. What do you say? What do you express into the world? What do you bring out? If you say this cannot be done, that's a belief. That's a belief. If you say I'm not good in that, that's a belief. If you say it has never been done before, ooh, that's a belief as well. And of course, we as a species we progress because we overcome the limiting beliefs. When we become good at sports, we overcome the limiting beliefs that the world record is there forever. There's no barriers to be broken, and I've seen many barriers to be broken. The it took years and years to go from under 100 meters to go to just above the 10 seconds. And then and for years it was believed that a human couldn't run 100 meters faster than 10 seconds. It was impossible. Then one man did it. I don't even know anymore who did it. And then within a year, because the other said, "Oh, it can be done. Oh no, let's all do it." And that's how humanity makes progress. So we believe we can do something. We challenge the idea that something cannot be done, and we find out that we practically can do everything.
Mm,
We're superhumans. We all are in our own way.
yeah. And I have a great example. And before I say it, I would like to ask you guys who are watching, if you don't mind sharing, write your limiting belief. I will share mine. And in a second, Jan, I will ask you if you would want to share one of your
Oh,
limiting beliefs which you overcome. If not, that's fine, but
yeah,
I'm
well,
hoping you'll be open. I had an amazing situation today which pointed out my limiting beliefs. I had a conversation with a friend. We were discussing a new idea of mine, and I was basically testing if that's possible even to co-create that. And this is about something I have no clue how to do just yet, but hey, challenge accepted. But during that conversation, my friend pointed out something which was super scary for me, even the thought of it. And I said straight away, that's never going to happen. And we both smiled, thinking, oh, there is another limiting belief coming up to the surface. And he immediately said, Luna, never say never. And I was like, yeah, I shouldn't say that because this may turn against me. But it was amazing to witness how quickly they come up to the surface and we just listen to them as that would be us. And without that few seconds of me actually thinking of what I just said, I would probably move forward, restricting myself from a great option and opportunity. And the only thing which stops me from going there is my belief that I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. I will never be as good in that new area. I don't want to say just yet what it is. It's going to be a surprise. I'll reveal it in a couple of weeks. But for now, because I'm not an expert, and we Geminis are experts in everything, trust me on that. But because I'm not an expert in it just yet, it's just a matter of practicing because it's something I can actually learn. I would definitely close a path which can actually be amazing new chapter for me. So I just smiled thinking, oh yeah. And how many times we will miss that subtle thought that, hey, maybe it's just the way I'm thinking about it, but it may not be true. Have you got any experience like this with overcoming your limiting beliefs?
Oh, my whole life. Yeah, there has been so many things. For instance, at secondary and primary as well, I always thought I was bad at sports, especially football, volleyball, basketball. Things with balls, I was bad at, but also the athletic parts, now running and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I remember I was 16, and we had a day of sports, and I became the school champion in the far jump. Yeah,
Wow.
not by a little bit. I jumped 1 meter further than the second in
That's
school.
cool.
Yeah, and well, I never thought I could do it, and I never knew I would be able to do anything with sports. And boom, there I was, and I did it. And normally, I'm I'm someone who is more action oriented, so I'm definitely someone who has an idea. I'm usually someone who then goes for opportunities and say, okay, let's put a rod in the pond and see if anything bites.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've known you for a year, and yes, that's exactly how it is.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
first do, then think. And the good thing of that is that's already
Mm.
one of the solutions. If you think something is cool and you want to investigate it, just start.
It's funny that you mentioned that example. A million years ago, like literally million moons ago, same similar situation, high school. I am a person who loves to run and I have a big endurance. Like I'm not a sprinter, not at all, but if it comes to long distance, that was my area. And I went to a competition, and my teacher was like, why do you want to do that? Like, there is no chance you can stand that distance. And I was like, watch me, because I knew what is my superpower. So if I would listen to somebody else's limiting belief about me, I would fail, but I won with a girl who looked like a gazelle. She had long legs. My goodness, she was way taller than me because I'm rather short.
Hmm.
But that endurance gave me strength to just run her over, run her
Outrunner, yeah, yeah,
not over. That was a joke,
yeah.
obviously. To just win the competition, and I will never forget the face of that teacher, and the satisfaction of mine that, hey, I did it, and it didn't cost me nothing. But this is an extreme example from many years. And within your coaching practice and within your tarot practice as well, what is the most common limiting belief you come across that people
Yeah.
come to you to work through?
Yeah, the most important thing is that people, you know, it's not called the blueprint for nothing. Most people live along the blueprint. They go to school, primary, secondary, sometimes university, or whatever degree they're making. They get a partner, they get a car, they get a credit card, they buy a house, in these years after. And when they're 35, they have some children, they have a house, they have a mortgage, which keeps them uh, pulled in for many many years, and so they actually have their life already set out till till pension age, and people just are stuck in that life. And many people hate their lives. Many people hate the treadmill they're on. Many people hate even sometimes their marriages and their families, and they see no way out because I
Mhm.
think, yeah, it's scary, it's scary, it's not the right time. Will it ever be the right time? That's the biggest thing, is people just wanting something and have no idea how to get there.
Been there, done that.
Well, we all have.
As from a perspective of a
Yeah.
woman, the most common thing I work with is, first of all, limiting beliefs about people's self-worth, especially within women. This is a plague where beautiful, intelligent women with superpower see themselves as very little, not worthy, not enough. Mm, and this is terrifying, actually, to witness how often limiting beliefs take our personal power away. And that I'm not good enough feeling may come from the way we see ourselves, from comparison with other women, other superstars, super magazines, celebrities, blah, blah. Um, and this can be, the self-worth can be lowered by everything, by the feeling of lack of success, happiness, lack of feeling beautiful, blah blah blah. This can come from past failures. Past actually is has a lot to do with feeling good, especially within the women, because women tend to compare themselves with the years they were younger and looked younger. And as I said at the beginning, the pressure is high here, and this can limit women a lot. Another one, favorite of mine, is it's too late. For people, especially at a certain age, this is where I observe that, oh, I'm too old for this. Oh, it's too late. I can't start again. Why not? Who says it's too late? Who says it's not the time? So I think these are the most, it's actually more like very powerful. Another one would be, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve success. I don't deserve recognition. I don't deserve money. I don't deserve abundance, because there is a guilt or something within us. What do you think about that?
That's yeah. That's something I see a lot too, and it's not even, for instance, the imposter syndrome, which is also one you get a lot, which also is a limiting belief, of course. The idea that you're not worthy, or that you're not good enough, or that oh, this is a game you play, or this is a role you take on. Um, these things all matter, and but like you said, it all depends. What you see a lot is people believe they are not good enough, they are not worthy, they cannot do it, they're not good enough. Nobody wants them to be successful. Yeah, and who cares if nobody wants them to be successful? I, you know, you have to be successful for yourself, not for someone else. That's the thing. It's
That's
your life. It's your life, and the beliefs and the wishes of others and the things that we say we have to do for others, that's what keeps us often imprisoned in life.
exactly the definition itself of success is a limiting belief in it as well, especially with the way most people, society, perceive success. They see it as making loads of money, driving beautiful cars, surrounding yourself with luxury. Yes, that as well. However, this can be something else, like free time to spend, time to be spent with your family and doing what you love. So it's really interesting that the things start to get interesting if you start to view yourself, your life, because our reality is a reflection of our limiting beliefs, and see where your life is not working the way you would want it to work, and then start to observe, do we have any limiting beliefs restricting us ourselves in that area? And this is something what we will help you to do today, to define your limiting beliefs if you have any. But before we go there, let's talk about, like, in a little bit deeper way of what to do to overcome limiting beliefs, because we talked about awareness, that it's important to identify that limiting belief. What about changing that limiting belief? Because in order for the change to happen, we need to change the limiting belief first.
Yeah.
How to do it?
Well, there are various ways to overcome them. First, you start by observing yourself. So identify them. How many times do you say, I can't do that, it's not the right time, I have to do this and this first? So observe your own words, observe your own thoughts, observe your own beliefs. Sometimes just write them down, and especially the ones that say it can't be done. If you make a list of the things you think that cannot be done, and just strike out the cannot or the not, and just say it can be done, it should be done. That's important. And the other one is replacing them by empowering beliefs. So I'm not good enough, or this is above my pay grade, or this is above me, this is beyond me. Bulldoze them away.
Yeah.
Change,
Reframing.
reframe. That's a very
Yeah,
important one. Yeah.
it's very important, and it's very simple. Instead of, for example, I'm not smart enough or I don't know enough, which is, I'm guilty of that one very often. It's, I may not know everything just yet, but I'm resourceful and I can learn whatever I need to learn to success or to succeed. That one sentence, the way we say it, the way we perceive it, it's actually one of the main keys. Because if we want to change the story we keep telling yourself, you can do whatever you want, but it's not going to work, because the subconscious will take over again and put us back into that place of a limiting belief. Because our conscious thoughts are only 5%, and the rest, how we behave, how we react, is driven by our subconscious. So it is important to build that information not just within our conscious mind, but also subconscious. And that's where all the fun begins.
It is. Yeah. The fun. Make fun of it. Make fun of yourself. Don't take yourself too serious, and and be courageous. That's be courageous to listen to your beliefs. Be courageous to change them, to reframe, to rephrase them, and to act on them. Of course, that's important to repeat, rinse and repeat, and act on them. And there's cycles. Beliefs are cycles. You know, I have a small graphic here where you have your beliefs. Your beliefs create thoughts, and your thoughts create experiences. So I believe this and this is dangerous. So you think, oh my God, I'm afraid of a wolf or whatever, and of course then you experience it. It becomes that way because thoughts become things, and that create new beliefs, and it which create new thoughts and new experiences. And when you turn them around, for instance, when your belief is all people are good, and you think that all people are good, and you act as if all people are good, you'll experience that most people do the right things. And I always add to it, some people actually might try to double cross you there, but for me, I always say that's a price I'm willing to pay for
Hmm.
my belief that I live in a world with just good people around me.
With that one, as much as I love the idea, and that's the idea I live with, it's important to be realistic as well, because unfortunately, not
Sure.
all people are good. And I've learned that the hard way. So that's why I'm a bit bitter about it, as much as I love the idea.
Don't
That's
be, don't be.
absolutely the experience I have most of the time. Don't get me wrong. However, we need to be aware and have our eyes open, because yes, even though reality of ours is like that all people are good, some reality of other people will be different, because they will have different beliefs, and this can crush with yours. And then interesting dynamics can happen out of that.
Yeah.
So just to be aware that just because we have a certain way of seeing the world, it doesn't mean that other people will be as open for differences and other ways of looking as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So now we both see that people can have different beliefs as well. And
absolutely.
I of course, I accept the idea that that's like I said, that not all people are actually good, but I don't want to live in that world. So I choose to live in a different world where I try to bring the best from myself into the world, and I usually like more yes than no. I get I get good things returned to me. So the law of karma is still working there, and uh, and I don't want to change it. That's my belief.
I'm so glad you mention it, because we get to the very important part of how we create our lives by focusing on ourselves, not the other people around, not what they do, what flow,
That's
one more
all.
time and in any language, not what the other people are doing, but just focusing on our own actions, having that intention of doing our best. And that's all we need to do. And then things will start to change. And other people may get inspired by us leading by an example.
Yeah.
That's how we can change and help others to see. But the best way is to just focus on ourselves and focus what's in here and working what's within us, rather than focusing on external ways. So I promised a little exercise today.
Yeah.
So please do grab a piece of paper and a pen. If not, that's if you don't have it just yet, now would be the best time. If you're watching it live, you can share the comments. And if you're rewatching it, you can put yours later as well. If you wish to share, the reason I'm asking for those limiting beliefs is so that we could talk about them and perhaps guide you in how to overcome that. Okay, so whoever is watching that, please grab a pen and a paper and just take a few deep breaths, just to relax our body and calm our nervous system. And I want you to write down one limiting belief that has held you back. It could be something like, I'll never be successful, I'm not good at relationships. Don't judge, just write. What is that one limiting belief you're aware of that held you back? Maybe there is a limiting belief you would like to change because you're aware of it and it's uncomfortable. So maybe you can use the one you're already familiar with. And now ask yourself where this belief come from. Who told you this? Is it a parent, a teacher? Maybe that's a past experience you had. Think about it. where this limiting belief originated from. Because often when we trace that original and origin of that belief, we can see that it's actually not something which came from us, that it's not from ourselves, that's somebody else's belief about us. And then when you have that belief and when you have that source which came from, it gives you the power back to decide if that belief is still yours, is it true or not. Because often what you will discover is that that belief is not even true or is not true anymore. If you would be willing to share in the comments, we would love to see those. If not, that's fine too. But now when you know what is your limiting belief, next week I will take you through a process on how to overcome it. But before that's going to happen, I have some additional questions which I will put in the description of this video later. So you could, after this session, do some more journaling about it. You know what is, you should know what is that limiting belief which is holding you back in life right now is, and where does it come from? How has this belief impacted your decisions and actions? Think about it and ask yourself if there is a certain pattern you can see within how this belief, one belief, shaped your life. Think about what next empowering belief can you create instead of that one. So how you could reframe it and how you could start living in the alignment of it. That's a really important question to ask yourself. And lastly, what's one small action you could take this week, tonight, tomorrow, after tomorrow, to reinforce your new belief, the one you will design instead of the old one. So take this challenge and let's see how it's going to unfold for you. I can't hear you. There you are.
There I am.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, let me just share one small thing that happened to me in my life. I started playing music around the age of 45, I think. So that's a bit late to be a proper musician, and
which also is a limiting belief.
that's a limiting belief. So I overcame that one, and for 10 years in, I thought maybe I could become a bit more professional, and it just didn't work out. And now because I was asked a few times to join for concerts, but not as much as I liked, and more or less gave me the idea that I might not be good enough. And when some life changes came up, about I think about 3-4 years ago, so we had to stop making live music anyway because of the pandemic, and after it, I didn't return to it.
Mm.
And
How does that make you feel?
and the fun thing is that I didn't completely abandon it, because in this summer I went to Inishir again to make music, and I really enjoy doing it. So I know I enjoy doing it. I know I'm good enough to be an amateur musician and to have fun with it. So maybe I should stop thinking of being a professional musician, which actually is not even important at this phase of my life anymore. But just have fun with it. That's the most important different thing. So I learned that that I can still have fun with it.
Mm,
And if I
that's
have the time and the opportunity, I will just hop in and meet with the people I played with and just start doing it again.
um because we're doing the different thing. I haven't seen the comments just yet. Apologies for that.
Can
We
you?
have, yeah, we're testing out new equipment, kind of
Yeah,
new
your software and
new
everything. Yeah.
software. That's what I wanted to say. So
Can you see the chat on?
yes, I just
Oh, you
found
have
it.
it.
So
Oh,
apologies to the people who contributed already. Hello, Magda. Hello, Journey. And hello, Magda. Two Magdas here. Lovely
Magda.
to see you. There is a really interesting comment here. A limiting belief only exists for only reason that past doesn't exist and future doesn't either. It's only the current moment, the current millisecond. You manage to live in the current, and I've lost it. Just bear with me.
Managed to it just goes in the next comment.
Okay. To be connected, to feel that God is us and we are one with the universe. Then limiting beliefs disappear. Yes, however, that would be that simple. We wouldn't have this conversation here and now. Absolutely, I agree with that, because when we connect with our soul, the realms of the mind disappear. However, we came here to have the human experience, and overcoming limiting beliefs is the part of that experience too, because we have to remember that coming here on earth is like joining a computer game, that we have a certain role to play, we have a certain tasks to participate in order to experience things which the soul wants to. Absolutely. And everybody's journey is their own journey. I absolutely 100% agree with that. Nobody can come on that journey. We can share moments in time with others on our path, but our journey can't be followed by anyone else.
So true.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
beautiful. This is exactly what it is. So the reason I like this comment is because we always tend to forget that other people have their own journeys, have their own limiting beliefs, have their own way of perceiving reality. And often it may lead to conflict because there is no empathy, there is no being openness to differences, to seeing the world differently. Recently, I had a situation and with my dad where limiting beliefs were the key. And because one person sees the situation from a certain perspective, it doesn't mean it's the truth and the reality of it, because the way we perceive certain things is not necessarily the truth or what it is. And I'm mentioning my dad here because he is a completely opposite person to me. His beliefs are totally different. And it gave me that different perspective on that subject as well. That's in Polish, we have a saying that the way we see things is defined by where we sit. In terms of if we're going to sit on the couch, it'll be usually lower, so we will see different things that we would sit on a bar stool, for example, which gives us the higher perspective, or going upstairs. So that was another interesting event within my life, which made me want to talk about limiting beliefs even more. Let me see.
Yeah, let me comment on that. So, what we actually see the difference in the discussion when we talk about uh, we are being godlike, we are being the creators of our own lives, we're we're the souls of our lives. The beliefs don't reside in the soul. The beliefs don't reside in the higher self. The beliefs reside here between the ears.
Yes,
They're
exactly.
in the
It's
brain.
your mind,
Yeah,
which is a part of the experience. And
yeah.
it's not a bad thing to experience that. However, it is important. Jan very often says about grabbing the steering wheel and pushing ego on the passenger seat and taking control. And that's the ideal way of letting our souls guide us. And ego, it is important. It serves a role, it serves its purpose. However, I think one of the most tricky parts is to overcome that ego
Yeah.
and let it
Yeah,
die.
to take charge over the ego. That so you
Exactly.
don't rule the ego. The ego doesn't rule you. You rule the ego. You're the master of your ego, and that's actually it's of course, like you said, it's the world. I always say it's a movie, and I'm I'm the star of the movie, and my my higher self is watching. You call it a computer game. They're similar ideas. We have roles to play here. We have experiences to experience, and so we also have to to be hit like to be hit by the truck of our limiting beliefs, and then try to overcome them and try to grow, and try to grow as a person, to try to grow as someone who understands life, who understands the workings of life, the workings of the challenges and overcoming the challenges, and the workings of the beliefs and overcoming the beliefs, and creating the best life you can create. I was I use the phrase, if you know whatever you believe, we're not sure what comes after this life.
Mhm.
So if this is the only one we're getting, we have to make this our masterpiece.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And I'm so glad you mentioned that by overcoming growth and by being actually hit by consequences of those limiting beliefs, this is where the real gold is. This is where we grow. This is where we learn. This is how we transform. This is how we gain experience and learn from the mistakes. And because usually limiting beliefs, let's be honest, they lead to mistakes one sooner or later. But this is where we can learn from. This is, I can't stress this enough. The challenges, the changes, the unknown, the darkness, this is where we actually grow, change, and learn. So thank you for reminding us that. Journey says, not bad to experience it, the human existence with everything which comes, but the conscious, the continuous mind chatter is killing us.
Exactly right.
Well, there are solutions for that. You can reach out to Druid or me. We're both coaches teaching people how to overcome the mind chatter and the monkey mind. There are techniques to do it. They're pretty simple and easy to take on every day. So feel free to reach out to us and then we can take it further
Yep.
from that. Okay, so before we start wrapping up today's sessions, we have some goodies for you. Well, we identified one limiting belief which is holding you back, but what about those limiting beliefs we're not aware of?
Okay.
There is Druid coming for to a rescue. Tonight, we will pull a card or three cards, and you can pick from the one or two or three, or you can take them all. It's up to you,
Yep.
however you feel. And today's question is, what hidden limiting beliefs you have and are holding you back? So let's go into that unknown dark side
Uh,
of us.
yeah. I just picked
Jan,
it.
would you like to take over?
Yes, I'm here. I picked three cards. Card number one. If you think card number one is for you, for your limiting beliefs, that's this one. Card number two and card number three. So pick a number and let's reveal them and let's see what they have to say about our limiting beliefs. We have the Prince of Cups. We have the Storm in a Teacup, as I call this one, or even Stormy Seas. Um, the Prince of Cups um, believes that he needs his emotions and his intelligence to make everything work. Um, He believes that, yeah, he believes that people are actually not good, and he believes um, that there's challenges in life. So he believes that there's storm coming, and he will be hit by it like a truck. So believing in the forces of nature, and they cannot be overcome by the prince himself. When you picked card number 2, wow, this is a good one. The Ace of Swords, and of course the swords are related to the mind. Um, I always call this card the beginner's mind, so the mind with the infinite possibilities. So when you pick this card, um, I would say you already have quite an open mind. You're quite confident in the possibilities that life has, and you're confident that anything can happen and anything will happen. You're also so I would definitely say that someone who pulled the Ace of Swords um, will have the opportunity to overcome their limiting beliefs, whatever they are. Strong one. Good cards for limiting beliefs. The sun, the sun is the idea that you're nearly there, because the sun is card number 19. So nearly there. Card number 21 is the finish line, and you still have so much to do, and you have so much things to wait for before you can get there. Still, no, believe that you're on the right track. Believe that you can dance in the field, that you can get your bum burned in the sunlight. Believe that if you're not there yet, you're nearly there. That it's not a big hurdle. So just act as if you're there, and the rest will follow. So believe, act as if the thing has worked out already.
Yeah, the first thought which came to my mind was free your mind and the rest will follow.
Yeah, in all the cards actually. Yeah.
Yes, this is really interesting what came out from your reading, because I pulled a card with an advice.
Oh,
And
good.
I intend to have 3 cards. However, there was one which wanted to come out as well, which I'm taking. Very interesting. So I'll show you. I have 4 cards here. Number 1, number 2, this one here, number 3, this one here, and number 4. Okay, I'll give you 2 seconds more. If you can be drawn to all of the cards, you can be drawn to number 1 and 4, for example. Take it how it resonates with you. With number 1, if that's your card, surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, and again, I am pulling an advice on how to move forward and how to overcome that limiting belief, is to let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So perhaps there is a situation that you don't know what to do. You've discovered today a limiting belief which shocked you, and then you don't know how to move forward. So surrender to silence, quiet the monkey brain, quiet the monkey mind, and just go within and ask your soul, what is the solution? What is the way? Exactly. You'll be even more surprised with the cards I pulled in. Number 2. This is an interesting one, because very often our limiting beliefs will lead to procrastination. So we
Yeah.
picked number 2, surrender procrastination, because now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. We have a stairway here which leads to the light. So if you take action towards whatever you've discovered today, you will be guaranteed success. So perhaps you have lack of belief in yourself, or you think and assume that you will fail before you even try it. Please don't. Just take action and watch things unfolding. Number 3, if you picked number 3, trust yourself and your decision. Don't be swayed by others people's strong opinions about what to do. So if you picked number 3, there are circumstances or people influencing you and the way you view that certain limiting belief or situation. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. It's interesting how we have 2 cards talking about taking action. If you made a choice with a card number 3, surrender to trust. Trust yourself. You've got this. Don't listen to whatever other people say. Those are their limiting beliefs. Don't let them to limit you. You have your own limiting beliefs to do that. You don't need limiting beliefs of other people. Lastly, number 4, and you'll be happy to see it, Jan, because look what I've got here. Surrender to joy. Isn't it the sun card?
Oh, there you have it.
Exactly. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Very often we tend to keep ourselves down because of that limiting belief, and we sacrifice having fun, laughing, having good time with other people. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. So joy is the way for you. If you picked card number 4, just have some fun and see how it will change the energy of you, of your surroundings, and perhaps it will give you a different perspective, more positive.
What you actually get from the last card is one of the big teachings from the law of attraction. Act and do, and and by the big way to manifest things is to do as if it has already happened. Be joyous, be grateful. It already manifests. It's already there. Like we said in the sun card, you're so close to the finish. You can already say you're there. Don't say to yourself that you're far away. No, you're winning already. You're on the right path. You're on a winning streak.
I pulled an extra card with a message summarizing today's, and I was just shocked because I picked a mirror.
Oh.
Everything that is happening in your external life is a reflection of your inner world. So whatever area you're not happy about, I would strongly suggest to sit with it, go within and go silent and ask yourself, is there a limiting belief which is actually making that part of my life like this? And if you're super happy about certain areas of your life, look what kind of beliefs you have about that, because I'm sure that they won't be limiting there, that there will be empowering beliefs, because that area of your life is flourishing. Yes, so Thank you so much for limiting beliefs part 1. Please do the exercises I've given you before. I will write down those questions to ask yourself in the description box. You can go back to the exercise again. You can read it. It'll be all there in the next few minutes. And the reason we're doing is first of all, to make you more aware. And the second of all, we will take this limiting belief next week and we'll do some magic with it. I promise it's worth joining next week, next Monday at 8 o'clock, where I will share a wonderful process which will help you with that limiting belief.
Great job, Luna. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, guys, for being here, for all your energy, comments, and see you around.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.